All right, let's go ahead and talk about the Angular and React.js options that we have in Liferay as well. So for those of you guys who have developed with Angular and React, you can actually create some Angular and React apps in Liferay alongside the other projects that we've already discussed. Okay, so let's start with Angular. We'll talk about React, and then we'll just look at a quick example of developing a React application. Okay. Now, Angularjs is a pretty powerful development tool that allows us to create some quick and efficient applications. So again, some of you guys may have already worked with this before. It's a little bit different than some of our other JavaScript applications in that Angularjs is actually loaded through Liferay themes. Okay, so the process to add an Angularjs app would be to create a new folder, a new apps folder in our source. Okay, we would essentially need to update our package.json to include information for our Angular app. Okay, we would also need to add the actual Angular code in our new folder, and then in our portal normal FTL, we would need to include a path for reading our Angular app. Okay, and what that would do is allow us the flexibility and ability to create Angular apps within our theme and deploy them alongside of our theme. Okay, so again, we're not going to go into too much detail here, but this is something that is available to you out of the box. This is something you can do. If you're interested in this, I would highly recommend taking a look at our documentation and testing it out with our current theme. Okay. All we would need to do in our current theme, now that we know the structure of the theme, is go in there, update that package.json, add that folder, add your Angular code, and then update the portal normal to be able to read it. Okay. All right. We also have the ability to create React applications. And now React applications actually require a bit of a different setup. Okay, so these both require a little bit of Java knowledge or backend knowledge alongside of your JavaScript knowledge. Okay. In order to create and build React applications, you do need to actually be using a Blade CLI project. Okay, Liferay's Blade CLI project does have a React template that you can use to generate the project structure, add in your code, okay, along with your Java, and then you can actually deploy these React applications. Okay. Okay, so in our exercises, we have the tic-tac-toe React app source. Okay, so we can go ahead and, if you're interested, you can open this up and look at the Java. Okay, so tic-tac-toe Java. Again, you do need to have some Java knowledge here. Let me go ahead and actually open this in Visual Studio Code. Okay, so we have some basic Java here. All right, we have in our resources folder. Again, this is what the template would create from the Blade CLI project. Okay, we have the init.jsp, we have the actual JavaScript here. Okay, and this is our React JavaScript. Okay, so feel free to go ahead and take a look at the code for this if you are interested. Okay, we also have an optional exercise if you'd like. You can go ahead and walk through the steps that you'll find below to go ahead and create your own React project and deploy it. So if you follow these steps, you'll go ahead and set up a Blade CLI project if you don't already have one. And then you'll create a new React app using the Blade template that we discussed earlier, and you'll go ahead and deploy it to the page. So it's just a simple React application that you can get deployed on the page and actually pull on the page. It's just going to be a simple hello world. Okay. So feel free to follow those optional steps, again, in the steps below. And if you want to go ahead and have a little bit more fun with that, if you have some React JS experience, then you can go ahead and do that as well. Okay. Okay, so just to recap here, you do also have the ability as front-end developers to create some JavaScript applications using Angular or React. Okay. Now again, this does require some back-end knowledge, so this will be for you full-stack developers, so you can take a look at what options you have, again, with more information below and in our documentation. Okay. So we have Angularjs, and that's going to be brought in through our theme. So you would go ahead and add that information to an actual Liferay theme and then build your apps there, and they'll deploy alongside your theme. And if you want to build a React application, Okay, you can go ahead and set up a Blade CLI project, and you can create the application project using our Blade template for our React applications or widgets. Okay, so feel free to take a look at that. Again, I would encourage you to set up the Blade CLI project and play around with this. If you're a full stack developer and you have some experience doing this, go ahead and set it up, create a new application, add some code, deploy it, and take a look at how it works. Okay. So in the last video here, we're just going to cover some brief best practices from top to bottom from all the videos that we discussed, and then we will have completed the entire course. So thanks again for sticking around, and we'll see you in the next video.